There are times in life when we are put to the test of our fortitude, endurance, and forbearance. These difficulties, although formidable, are transitory. There's a turning point as we make our way through them, a shift that suggests we may be through the hardest testing yet. We looked at the indications that you are being tested by the universe in a prior topic. Today we'll be paying more attention to figuring out when those demanding exams are over and figuring out the indications that you've not only made it through these common exams, but also overcome them. Finding the signs that indicate a new phase of development, serenity, and alignment with your actual path is the focus of this. 1. You have a feeling of freedom. We carry the burden of our past experiences with us on our life's journey. These could be guilty moments, regretful moments, or self-imposed restrictions. Each one piles on another layer of the weight we carry, making life's journey more difficult and advance more slowly. However, many experience a turning point in their lives, a sign that they have passed the universe's trials and are filled with a deep sense of release. This sensation is similar to dropping a big weight that you've been carrying for miles, and then understanding how much it was impeding your progress until it's gone. This sense of liberation denotes a more profound process of releasing rather than only feeling lighter. It is the result of having internalized the lessons you acquired from the past, rather than just learning them academically. It's realizing that each setback served as a lesson and that every obstacle served as a teacher. You begin to see that the regrets and guilt were actually stepping stones toward a better version of yourself, rather than merely roadblocks. This insight releases something really deep. You have the impression of breathing deeply and freely for the first time in a very long time. The sky is brighter, the air seems fresher, and the way ahead is obvious. Forgiveness of oneself and others is a necessary step on the path to achieving this condition of liberation. In order to face and accept the aspects of ourselves that we've turned away from, introspection is necessary. It takes guts and honesty to embark on this self-reflection path. It is not an easy one. However, the act of bravery itself is what causes our weight to be lifted. We break free from the bonds of regret and remorse when we forgive ourselves. We are aware that although we cannot go back in time, we do have complete control over how the past influences us today. Furthermore, this feeling of freedom goes beyond cerebral and emotional realms. It affects both our bodily and spiritual identities, showing up as an increase in vitality, a resurgence of our sense of purpose, and a closer relationship with the outside world. We begin to interact with life as designers of our future, rather than as captives of the past. The obstacles that we before perceived as impassable barriers are now seen as challenges that we can conquer. Rather than defining us, our past experiences provide as a basis for the development of a more robust wisdom. A resilience that comes from having made it through the darkest nights and emerging into the dawn is also fostered by this liberty. It is a strength that is flexible rather than innately stubborn. The knowledge that accepting change rather than fighting it is what gives us real strength. We move on with this strength, not fearless but free of burdens, prepared to meet the upcoming difficulties of life with grace and wisdom. When you feel as though a big weight has been taken off your shoulders, it's obvious that you've passed through a pivotal point in your life. It indicates that you have not only encountered, but also successfully navigated the universe's challenges, coming out not only uninjured but also enriched. 2. You've gained knowledge. The knowledge that results from having weathered the trials of the universe is a highly significant indicator of one's development. This wisdom isn't only about learning things, it's also about realizing the deeper lessons and meanings in life that can only be learned via experience. Every test and every obstacle provides us with priceless new perspectives on the world and ourselves. Think back to the times when you were pushed to the brink and had to decide whether to advance or stay the same. Even though these times were challenging, they served as a means for the universe to impart important lessons about patience, perseverance, and what it really means to be strong. For instance, you may have learned the importance of gratitude and the transience of life during a difficult time of loss or failure, which has cultivated a greater appreciation for the present. A relevant quotation that sums up this development is from the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche. "What does not destroy me fortifies me." This quote captures the spirit of learning from misfortune. Our strength comes from how we respond to problems, not from avoiding them. Every challenge we face and overcome teaches us something new, not only about our resiliency, but also about the delicate art of overcoming hopelessness and discovering strength in vulnerability and growth in the face of defeat. Thinking back on the lessons that adversity has taught us can be instructive and empowering. We acquire the most important lessons in life when we are faced with the most difficult obstacles. Suffering breeds compassion, comprehension of pain breeds actual joy, and failure breeds genuine success. These more difficult and profound teachings are what make intelligent beings what they are. We discover via the exams how crucial it is to let go of the things we cannot control and concentrate our efforts on the things we can. This knowledge unlocks the door to a more conscious and meaningful life by releasing us from the bonds of pointless resistance. It tells us that every experience, no matter how difficult, carries knowledge seeds that are just waiting to be found and grown. The knowledge we get from facing challenges in life is priceless. It serves as a beacon that illuminates our way by drawing on our prior experiences. It serves as a reminder that the difficulties we face in the universe are not barriers to growth, but rather chances for learning that will profoundly and enduringly impact our path. When we accept this insight, it opens up a source of inner power and clarity that leads us to a more fulfilling and profound life. 3. Your vision is clear. Finding a clear purpose in life frequently entails a journey through difficulties and encounters that try our fortitude and force us to delve into the core of who we are. It appears as though a cloud that had been obstructing our view has lifted, enabling us to at last make out the path ahead of the newly discovered clarity. This clarity points us in the right way, directing us toward our actual calling or the next stages in our lives, without necessarily outlining every bend and curve in our journey. This sense of purpose frequently results from a rediscovering process in which we find aspects of ourselves that were either lost or kept buried. We are forced to look more deeply into who we are, to challenge our wants, and to face our anxieties as a result of the tests and trials the universe has placed before us. Through this process of self-discovery, we start to clearly identify our mission. We rediscover our values, our passions, and the influence we want to make on the world. Understanding our mission can be enlightening, shedding light on previously obscure aspects of our journey. It offers a direction that speaks to our deepest inner selves and gives us a sense of serenity and alignment that is both freeing and uplifting. This does not imply that we know everything or that we have a clear roadmap for the future. Instead, it's realizing that a power bigger than ourselves is guiding us and that we are headed in the correct direction. The cosmos has a way of unfolding that will show the road, one step at a time, so we can be encouraged even though we might not have a step-by-step manual on how to fulfill our destiny. It's important to trust this process. It calls for trust in the process and an open mind to the cues and opportunities that present themselves. This confidence is based on active participation with life, living in the present, and making decisions that are consistent with our innermost purpose rather than passivity. A strong motivator is a purpose that is clear. It motivates us to work tirelessly and fervently for our objectives. It gives us the confidence and direction we need to successfully negotiate the challenges of life. Recognize that every action we take moves us closer to reaching our full potential. This does not remove obstacles or doubts. Rather, it provides us with the courage to confront them with the understanding of our purpose and identity. 4. Improved connections and relationships. The challenges we face in life frequently cause us to change the way we view the world around us. We observe a dramatic change in our relationships when we overcome these obstacles. Things that were once tense or burdened with negativity start to change or disappear, almost as though through a process of natural selection. This change goes beyond ending challenging relationships. It's about creating room for fresh, deeper interactions that genuinely reflect the people we are becoming. Our relationships' development is a mirror of our own personal development. We begin to draw and cultivate relationships that reflect this honesty as we become closer to our genuine selves. These relationships are marked by a sincere desire for each other's personal development, respect, and support. They give us encouragement, push us to be our best selves, and offer a solid foundation of nurturing and empowerment. Our connections have improved, which is a definite indication that we have successfully completed a big cosmic test. It demonstrates that we have an understanding of the value of boundaries and self-love and how these components are essential to building wholesome relationships. We now prioritize relationships that enrich and brighten our lives, and we are more clear about how and with whom to spend our time. This metamorphosis asks us to believe in the course of our individual development rather than expecting us to have it all figured out. The caliber of our connections will develop along with us, reflecting back to us the strides we've made in life. This organic shift toward better connections serves as a reward for overcoming the obstacles that shaped our initial development and provides a network of support that enables us to succeed in all facets of our lives. 5. You are appreciative of everything, including the difficulties. One of the most important turning points in your personal development is when you can look back on your journey with thankfulness. This profound gratitude for the totality of your experience, the highs and lows, indicates a sophisticated comprehension of the complex processes of life. You realize that the difficulties you faced were not insurmountable obstacles, but rather crucial components that molded your personality, gave you resilience, and extended your outlook. This thankfulness comes from a deep understanding that every experience, no matter how happy or challenging, plays an important part in defining who you are. It's realizing that your hardships weren't only obstacles to overcome, but rather lessons learned that gave you resilience, insight, and compassion. With this kind of perspective, the things that happened in the past no longer seem like burdens, but rather like important milestones in your personal development. The capacity to find gratitude in the midst of adversity is a sign of a higher understanding and acceptance of the complexity of life. It's an admission that your character's depth and empathy's breadth might not have been fully realized in the absence of these hurdles. It is difficult to adopt this viewpoint. It is developed by introspection and making the deliberate decision to look for the good in every situation. This attitude of gratitude is empowering because it provides a prism through which the richness and beauty of life can be fully experienced in any situation. 6. Simplicity brings you joy. The awareness that happiness lies in life's simplicity signifies a significant change in viewpoint and understanding. This realization highlights the fact that achieving societal success standards or accumulating material belongings are not prerequisites for happiness. Rather, it can be discovered in the silent times, the commonplace wonders, and the appreciation of the things we frequently take for granted. You now see that having too many possessions and pursuing too many goals in life may frequently leave one feeling empty, a feeling that no amount of success from outside sources can cure. The realization that the most important elements of a happy existence are developed internally lies at the heart of this shift. Ideas, feelings, and viewpoints. They are the real designers of your contentment. You build a resilient and upbeat foundation by cultivating good beliefs. A true connection with people and a greater understanding of oneself can be attained by accepting and embracing your emotions, especially the ones that provide challenges. You can interact with the world in a more fulfilling and meaningful way by changing your viewpoint to one of beauty and simplicity. This path to happiness and simplicity is about reassessing what's really important rather than giving up on goals or desires. It's realizing that although objectives and dreams can spur people on and provide inspiration, they shouldn't eclipse the value of being in the moment. The contentment of a home-cooked meal, the tranquility of a quiet morning, and the laughter of a loved one. These small joys provide a deep sense of satisfaction that money cannot buy. I appreciate you seeing. Please consider giving the video a thumbs up and subscribing to receive more informative material if you enjoyed it. We can't wait to tell you more in our next video. I'm wishing you a fantastic day.